Well, good day, everybody. Welcome here to Frozen Valley Engineering, the second episode of that. Now, today we're going to be making a driver's car. This is going to be naturally aspirated V10, going to shoot for 650 to 750 horsepower, 6-speed manual. You know, just because it's going to be fun. It's going to be light. It's going to have lots of downforce. It's going to be basically a big old track toy with the V10, so it's got the soundtrack for it. So let's hop right on into it. First off, panel material carbon fiber, of course. Yeah, like I said, carbon fiber, of course. It's going to be a light track toy of a thing. We're shooting for about a $500,000 car for this thing. Because Frozen Valley Engineering, I should write this up here actually. We're actually quite a high quality brand. It's going to be a monocoque chassis, carbon fiber monocoque with a rear end longitudinal, double pushrod suspension, and a high quality piece of kit. Because like I said, 500 grand is about our budget for this car, because we make quite high quality expensive cars. Our new engine project is going to be the Frozen Valley Engineering, and it's going to be a 5.4 liter V10. So we're going to call it 5.4 V10, and we should give it a cool name. R. Yeah. It's going to be a magnesium. It's going to be bored out pretty nicely. Now, do we want it to be all-wheel drive? I don't think all-wheel drive is the call. I think it's going to go to the rear wheels. So 5.4 liter, because we can fit a bigger engine that way too. Dual overhead cam, 4-valve, aluminum, silicon head. Of course, a billet internals. It's going to be high quality. We'll tinker with this. Naturally aspirated. Direct injection per cylinder, race intake. It's going to take premium. It's going to be a road car still, but we'll see about race. I think we'll do long tubular in the end, but we'll start with this sort of setup and see if it's too loud for our poor little ears. Now, first thing I'm going to do is turn up the fuel mixture till we stop seeing gains from that, and we're going to want this thing to rev out quite nicely. So 7,500 RPM is what we're going to shoot for now. It's an expensive car, so we can cam it out. That's not an issue. We're already making 500 horsepower. I think we can raise up our RPM and get some more out of it. There we go, 516 horsepower. Up our timing. We got 543 horsepower. Let's go to our exhaust. Open that up. Oh yeah, there we go. 670 already. We're gonna advance our ignition timing. And I said we wanted somewhere between 650 and 750 horsepower, so we're already there. But I want more. There we go. Just a bit of quality. We're up at 715 horsepower. Up our RPM a little bit to 9,000. 731 horsepower. And I think that is going to be good enough for us. Now let's see if she's too noisy. We'll deal with this in a second. A little bit noisy, but not the loudest car ever. It is kind of a track toy sort of car, so I mean, it's gonna be loud. It's far from your average commuter, but we're gonna have, obviously, like I said before, manual 6-speed, 330 kilometers an hour is about where we're gonna have her top out. Just like that. Geared LSD. It's going to be a track toy. Radial, semi-slicks, big boy tires. Probably not so big in the front. Set it out or offset a little bit. We don't want to deal with too much oversteer, so that's why I shrink down the front tire. The rear tire is going to have to be huge though, because we have 700 odd horsepower going to the rear tire, so I'm actually going to make it as big as it can. There we go. We got a 395 in the rear. Absolutely thick in the rear. And I think we should be alright for width up front here. Maybe we'll just make this a 300. Because we don't want understeer, we don't want oversteer, so I'll tune the tire size. We're going to have carbon fiber rims. Carbon ceramics. This is what I always do. A few pistons, really soft pad type, but a really big brake size. And I just do that so I can have the best cooling and I don't have to deal with brake fade. We'll tune all this. We're going to make it a downforce, high downforce car, like I said. Up the cooling because it's a race car, full brake airflow. Just the 2 seats. Luxury premium heads-up display. It's not going to be as premium as our other car because it is a bit more of a track toy. I think we'll do an electric variable with the launch control. It is still a really high-end car for 500 grand. So let's see how we think of that stance. Looks pretty sweet. I'm just going to give it a splitter on the front and a wing on the back and a diffuser, and we can start to tune the arrows. So let's go add those suckers on. So there we go. We have our arrow elements on here on the back and our splitter on the front. So now we can start tuning this thing. Pull up our graphs here. 0 to 103.3. It's probably going to be quicker than that in reality. This is just if they go full throttle, they'll spin the tires the whole way, but you need a bit of control with this thing. Let's see if we up this tire size a little bit. And there we start to deal with a bit of oversteer. So we're going to do it like so. Because a bit of oversteer is going to be a little bit more difficult to handle, but it'll give us a better turn in. So we just have to be a little bit conservative on our throttle. I think we're going to have them as 320s. That's probably a good idea. Tire size and our braking force is really good. Our rear grip is a little bit lower and it kind of comes up like that. But I think we'll just leave this as it is. Downforce really high. Active wing, really high front and rear wing angles. Now our steering at a fast speed, we can mitigate our understeer with a little bit less wing angle. There we go. It sits pretty flat going at speed. It's not going to have as much grip, but I think up at that speed it shouldn't be spinning anyways. Fairly linear braking. Suspension is alright. I just use a preset. I'm no good at setting up the suspension, so I just go with whatever it says and then whatever looks good as well. So she should be a bit of a track weapon now with that steering setup. So just like last time, we're gonna hop into a bit of a design time lapse, and I already kind of have some designs that I've been thinking of, so we'll see. It shouldn't take too long for me to get this thing set up. Just got finished with that time lapse. Now, while we were in that time lapse, I also thought of a name for this car. It's the Frozen Valley Engineering Hypernova. Since all our cars seem to be space themed, I figured, oh, that's a pretty cool looking name. Now I did the pink car thing again, right? So let's go and make this look nice. Now, let me just Google. A Hypernova is kind of like a whitish blue. So let's see if that looks any good on this car. And it kind of looks sick. Here we go. It's something like this color in space, and I think this looks quite sick and cool actually. Now, our rims, they are carbon fiber, so we should make them look that way. Just a nice black carbon fiber. And I think we're going to give them just a bit of a hint of the vehicle. That's too much. Just this outer ring is going to be in blue. There we go. That kind of looks sweet. And this is going to be our black carbon fiber there. So I will just set some of the parts that need to be carbon fiber to carbon fiber. Then we'll export this and we'll give it a test drive just like we did the last one. Okay, so she's all set up. She's all kitted out with the carbon fiber splitter, carbon fiber wing, carbon fiber diffuser. So she's going to be light as ever. Now, let's go into photo mode, have a little peek at it, see what we think. And then we'll give it a nice little rip. So there we go. She's looking pretty sweet here on the beach. I'm really liking that hood scoop. She's going to be a pretty aggressive track car. So I think that's all we're going to do with here. I'm going to go set up the wheel and let's give her a rip. Okay, so we're here in testing. Blocking off a bit of traffic, of course. But let's get a move on here. This car, she sounds sweet. Let's get ourselves on the hood. I'm really a fan of the look here. It's kind of a mix of a Porsche and a McLaren, if you ask me, but those are both two good looking cars. So right now I have no traction control and 730-ish horsepower to the rear wheels. And I tell you what, when I say she moves, I mean she moves. And the fuzz are after us again. Seems to be a common issue for us. That's also a common issue for us. The back end getting a little dicey. But I don't think we'll mess around on road too much, as this isn't much of a road car. This is mostly a track car. So we'll make our way over to the track. And well, first we'll do a drag run and see how that goes for us. And then yeah, we'll see how we compare to, I think we'll use the same car we did the other day. And see how we compare this car to the Aurora. Because the Aurora has almost 3 times the horsepower. But I think this thing might be better on track, just because of the controllability. I don't know, I think it's more fun on track. I doubt if it's quicker. Oh, gotta stop and get our track ticket. There we go. Just toast the back tires getting off there. Okay, well, we'll get set up for our drag race here. So, we're racing another vehicle of mine. This car makes about 900 horsepower to all wheel. I think just the rear wheels, actually. And it actually does a wheelie off the line. So we'll see if I can outdrive it. Because we're not going to be faster than it, but if I can outdrive that driver, we might be able to. That car is also stupidly loud. Oh, and we're well by him. Gearing must be better on this car. Because that car is far more power. So I think what we'll do is we'll just compare it to the fastest in-game car, which would be the Buckroll Moonhawk Drag. Now that car is fast. You have to have a fast car to be able to beat that thing. So we'll see if we can do. We don't spin very much. Thing's got more power than us, I'm just about sure of it, but does not beat us off the line. He's catching us. Yeah, we beat him there, so we're pretty quick on drag. That's not what this car's built for. So let's get her to the track. Okay, so we're back in the pit lanes here. Now we're gonna get ready to go here. This car is built for track. I don't know if I mentioned after the design section, but we have these 2 little inlets on the hood here. So as air goes in through that bottom part, oh, it's not gonna show it to me now, is it? I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this bottom grill here, as air goes in there, it comes up through here and gives us even more downforce. And this is to clear out the dirty air of the front wheels. And this is both inlets into the engine as well as the air scoop. And here is all our outlets from the engine. But anyways, she's well set up for track, is essentially what I'm saying. So let's get on out there and see how this thing does for lapping. She's very quick out of the pits. That's not full beans either. Oh, we're out revving this thing. But this thing is so light, it just turns in like nothing. The V10's a lot lighter than the V12 that we had in the Aurora. I I always gotta remember you gotta take her a bit easy into that corner. I drive this track quite a bit, all things considered. At least as far as this game is concerned, this is the one I drive the most. And I don't play this game too terrible often, but... Oh, see that? With the rear-wheel drive on this car, it is very, very easy to get spun out. Second gear. First gear, if I floor it in first gear, it just hooks up, but look at this, if I floor it in second gear, that back end likes to get away from us, so we gotta keep her tamed. Because I did tune in a bit of oversteer to allow us to get around the track a little faster, but that is working a little bit against us. I'm hoping we won't flip up and start flying as we come over this hill going over 300 like we do sometimes. Yeah, because we have a lot of front downforce and we can brake really hard coming into here. Got to be easy on the throttle coming out of the corner so we don't crash. I should keep track. I should go look at how long the Aurora took us to lap and start setting up a leaderboard. I'm sure this will be very close to the Aurora with a lot less power. And that's why you blip the throttle, folks, or else you do that. Yeah, the rear end is locked up, or because I didn't blip the throttle hard enough, I guess. But anyways, that is what it is. Coming down into the final turn here. And we'll see what we can do for a lap with this thing. Keep in mind this is a manual as well, so it'll be a little bit slower on the shifts. This thing's more based around having fun on the track than flat out speed. But take it easy, hug this side. Then we can keep her slow and then faster out of this corner. No loser there. Probably shouldn't even grab first gear coming around that corner. It's pretty difficult, but... Oh, coming out a bit wide. Uh-oh. Well, that's no good. Trying again for a flying lap here. There we go, starting it. Easy into this corner. Keep her easy, keep her slow. Hit the inside here. And fast out. And not gonna grab second or not gonna grab first gear coming around this time. I'm just gonna bog her in second. Oh yeah, way quicker to do it that way. Drop her into third here, coming around this corner. And there we go, full beans, full beans. Should be hitting 300 as we come over the hill. Oh yeah, well over 300. And use those stoppers. Not lose the car as we come through here. Back up the hill. This car is very, very controllable on track. A little dicey through there. Not going to grab first this time. There we go. Quite quick through there, so it's going to be a good lap. Oh, unless I lose it in the last turn. There we go, and over the line. Pretty quick. There we go. So we'll see how that compares to the Aurora. Later, after I've done like 5 cars or something, I'll do a race with all of them, try and get the fastest lap out of them and see which is the fastest. Well, I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching if you did. And on that note, I hope you have yourself a wonderful evening.